Some stories are just stories. But what if the people who lived them swear they're true? Tonight you'll hear 3 chilling encounters, all told by those who say they experienced something beyond explanation. These aren't ghost tales made for campfires. These are real events, real people, and the kind of fear that lingers long after the lights go out. Turn off the lights, put on your headphones, and listen closely. Because the truth is often far scarier than fiction. It started on the 3rd night after I moved into my new apartment. A small, cheap place, old wood floors, 1 window, and paper-thin walls. Perfect for a fresh start, or so I thought. Around 3:12 a.m., I woke up to a faint sound. Not the creaking of the old building, not a neighbor's TV, but something else. A whisper, software repetitive, right behind the wall next to my bed. At first I couldn't make out the words, just a steady murmur, like someone reciting something, or praying. I sat up, heart pounding, and pressed my ear to the cold wall. The voice stopped. I told myself it was a dream, turned on the light and stayed up until the sun rose. But the next night, same time, same whispering. This time, clearer.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Please help me.
Over and over again. I knocked on the wall. Silence. I asked my upstairs neighbor the next morning if anyone lived next door. She looked confused.
That unit's been empty for years. Why? Did you hear something?
I didn't know what to say. That night, I left my phone recording next to the wall while I pretended to sleep. In the morning, I played it back. Static. Then, around 3:12 a.m., a voice, clear as day.
I know you can hear me. Please, don't leave me here.
Then, a scratch, like fingernails dragging across drywall. I played it again. And again. I even showed it to my coworker, who turned pale.
You need to leave tonight.
I didn't sleep that night. I sat in the living room, light on, staring at the wall. Then, bang! A loud thud from inside the wall, like someone hitting it with their fist. Then screaming, not a whisper, a scream, muffled, trapped, human. I grabbed my keys and left. I never returned. The apartment is still listed for rent. Cheap, too. But the listing never mentions the whispers. My sister Emily died in a car accident on a rainy Thursday night. I was the one who identified her body. The last thing she said to me, just hours before the crash, was,
Call me if you can't sleep again tonight. I'll stay up with you.
I never got the chance to make that call. After the funeral, I spiraled. I barely slept, barely ate. My nights were silent, cold, and filled with regret. A week after the funeral, I was lying awake around 2:30 a.m., staring at the ceiling, and then my phone rang. I reached for it automatically. No name, just a number, but something about it made my stomach twist. I answered. Hello? Silence. Then, a breath, a familiar breath. Then a whisper, shaky and broken.
I told you to call me if you couldn't sleep.
I froze. It was Emily's voice, exactly how she sounded. I said her name out loud. Emily? Silence again. Then,
It's dark here. I don't know where I am, but I'm not alone.
my entire body went cold. I asked her where she was, what she meant. The line crackled. I heard a distant scream in the background, followed by Emily whispering.
He's coming back. I can't talk anymore.
The call ended. I stared at my phone in shock, checked the number, It said, "Unknown. No call history." The next morning, I went to the cemetery. Her grave was undisturbed, but as I stood there, my phone buzzed. One new voicemail, time-stamped 2:34 a.m. I pressed play. Static. Then her voice.
Don't forget me. Please don't let them forget me.
And just before the message cut off, I heard footsteps, getting closer. I never received another call, but every year on the night of her death, at exactly 2:34 a.m., my phone buzzes. No caller ID, no voicemail, just silence, and I never answer. I've always had vivid dreams, but one dream, one nightmare, changed everything. It started about 6 months ago. I kept waking up in a cold sweat, heart pounding, with the same image burned into my mind. A long, dim hallway, flickering lights, and a man with no face, just standing there, waiting. I could never move. I could only watch as he came closer, step by step. I never told anyone about this dream. Not a soul. One day, I was sitting at a coffee shop near campus, just trying to stay awake after another restless night. A man sat at the table next to me. Older, quiet, well-dressed. I didn't pay much attention until he leaned toward me and said,
The hallway with the flickering lights. He's getting closer, isn't he?
I froze. I stared at him. My mouth was dry. "Excuse me?" I asked. He smiled. Not kindly, knowingly. "Don't worry," he said. "He hasn't found you yet, but he will." Then he got up and left. No explanation. I chased him outside, but he was gone. Just gone. That night, the dream came again. But it was different. The hallway was longer, darker. And this time, the man had eyes, and he whispered something.
He told you. You weren't supposed to know.
I woke up gasping. There were bruises on my wrists, like fingers had gripped me. The next morning, I called every hospital and psychiatric facility in the area. Asked if a man matching the one I saw in the coffee shop had been a patient. No records. No one had seen him. Except one nurse remembered a man who came in talking about dream people. Said he warned strangers about things they weren't meant to see. He vanished a few weeks later. Left behind a journal. The nurse read me one entry.
He appears to those who dream, first without a face, then with eyes. When he speaks, it's already too late.
I never dreamed of the hallway again, but sometimes, in the corner of my eye, I still see flickering lights. And when I pass mirrors, sometimes I'm not sure the reflection is mine.